That's fun. Just to let you know, judges don't actually have gavels. So, but I got one right here for a little bit. So welcome to the Legislative Committee for July 21. I'm told to please remind everyone to pull the microphone close to your mouth so that you can in fact be heard. The CBA has provided the opportunity to the public to participate via the WebEx platform. When we take public comment, we will begin by taking public comment from those individuals attending the meeting here at the California Board of Accountancy headquarters. I will then ask the moderator to open up the lines for public comment electronically. You will be allotted up to 5 minutes for public comment. Right now, I'd like to establish a quorum. So, Ms. Reed, could you please take the roll call?
Dan Jacobson.
Here.
Christian Lotta.
Present.
Katrina Salazar.
Present.
And Yin Tu.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I'm going to read the mission statement of the California Board of Accountancy. The CBA's mission is to protect consumers by ensuring only qualified licensees practice public accountancy in accordance with established professional standards. This mission is derived from the statutory requirement, and protection of the public shall be the highest priority of the California Board of Accountancy in exercising its licensing, regulatory, and disciplinary functions. Whenever the protection of the public is inconsistent with other interests sought to be promoted, the protection of the public shall be paramount. With that, I'm going to go to the agenda, and we'll start with number 1, public comments for items not on the agenda. Is there any member of the public that's here in the room who would like to address the board on this issue? Seeing none, moderator, will you please open it up to the people on WebEx for this comment?
Certainly. Thank you. I am opening up the Q&A. So if you do have a comment, you can look for the question mark icon inside a box at the lower right corner of your WebEx screen, or behind the 3-dot other options, and type the word comment, and you will be allowed 5 minutes to speak. We will take comments in the order received. I see no request for public comment at this time. Shall I close the Q&A?
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Item number 2 is approval of the minutes of the May 19, 2022 Legislative Committee meeting.
I will be happy to make the motion to approve the minutes of May 19.
Is there a second? And Katrina has seconded.
Yes, I'd like to.
It.
Thank you.
And so we have a fully formed motion. Is there any comment from members of the board or of the committee? Let me ask if there's any public comment from members of the public who are in the room with us today. Seeing none, moderator, would you please open up WebEx on this issue?
Thank you. I've opened up the Q&A portion of WebEx. You can look for that behind the 3-dot other options, or look for the question mark icon, typically in the lower right corner of your screen. Type the word comment and send. I'll give people a moment to locate that. And we have no requests for public comment at this time. Shall I close the Q&A?
Please do, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The third agenda item is I think that's probably a good idea. So long as we've got a motion and a second, why not have a vote? So, Rebecca, if you could do the honors, please.
Dan Jacobson,
Yes.
Christian Lotta,
Yes.
Katrina Salazar,
Yes.
and Yin Tu.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you. The third item on the agenda is the California Board of Accountancy 2022 legislative tracking chart, 2022 legislative calendar, and considerations for taking positions on legislation. This is a written report only. So I suggest you read it. And does anyone have anything on the committee have anything to say about it? All right, why don't we just move on then? But it is a good report to read. Number 4, update, discussion, and possible action on legislation which the Board of Accountancy has taken a position. Patrick?
Thank you, Chair Jacobson. Unless you or the members have questions, I'm going to forego my presentation on items 4A, B, C, D, F, and G, as there have either been no amendments or the amendments don't materially impact the CBA's position on these bills. Instead, I would like to focus my presentation on item 4E, which is regarding Senate Bill 731. If this is agreeable, I'll turn it back now to the chair for any discussion on these other bills before moving on to SB 731.
First of all, does anyone disagree with this procedure? Good. Then on A through G, does anyone have any comments or questions? Do any of the members of the public have any comments or on A through G, any of the members of the public who are here in the room with us today? Seeing none, I would ask the moderator to please open up WebEx on this issue, A through G.
And this is the moderator. We have opened up the Q&A panel of WebEx to facilitate public comment. If you'd like to make a comment on the agenda item, please look for the question mark icon, maybe behind the 3 dots, and type the word comment. And the other option certainly is to raise your hand, and that is the small hand icon in your WebEx app. And I see no request for comment at this time. Shall I close the Q&A?
Please, and again, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Patrick, would you like to continue with your presentation?
Yes, thank you. Senate Bill 731 would require the Department of Justice to expand the provisions regarding criminal record relief without requiring a petition or motion by a party for that relief to include an arrest and a conviction of a felony if specified conditions are met. This measure was last heard by the CBA in July of 2021. It was referred to the Assembly inactive file shortly after it was heard by the CBA. Since then, the bill was amended 3 times, most recently on June 23rd of 2022. The bill was withdrawn from inactive status on June 21st, and it is currently on the Senate floor for concurrence in Assembly amendments. Staff recommend the CBA change its position to an oppose unless amended position. Staff are concerned that this bill would limit the CBA's ability to consider financial felony crime convictions for CPA licensure applicants. Specifically, staff recommends the CBA request the author ensure or amend SB 731 if necessary to enable the CBA to continue its authority as referenced in BPC 5100.2 to look at matters beyond the 7-year period that is referenced in BPC section 480A1. I'll now turn it back over to the chair for a possible motion, but staff is happy to address any questions.
Thank you. First, do we have a motion on this issue? Ms. Tu?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to make a motion to recommend staff position of oppose unless amended.
And is there a second? And Katrina has seconded it. So we have a motion, and now I'd like to know if there's any discussion amongst the committee. Seeing one, Katrina, please go ahead.
So given how quickly this bill was amended, is there any additional communications the staff will have with the authors other than just changing the position? And then are there any questions or is any additional information needed from the board to move forward with that?
Thank you for the question. Whatever the board decides today, we will share that position with the author in hopes that some communication can go further in amending the bill and how we can help them amend that bill from there.
Anyone else? All right, seeing that no one else with comments from the committee, does any member of the public who's in the room with us today have any comments on this issue? Seeing none, will the moderator please open the WebEx tool to see if anyone who's on WebEx has any comments on this issue?
Certainly. This is the moderator, and I have opened up WebEx's Q&A feature to facilitate public comment. You can look for the question mark icon, and typically in the lower right corner of your screen, type the word comment and send. The other option is you may raise your hand using the hand raised logo icon at the bottom of the screen. And I do not see any requests for public comment. Shall I close the Q&A feature?
Please do.
Thank you.
You know, I'm not sure if I asked for public comment on A through G. I did? Okay. Well, you know what? Let me pat myself on the back for doing that. We'll move on. We'll move on after we vote on E. So we have a fully formed motion. Ms. Reed, would you please call the roll?
Dan Jacobson?
Yes.
Christian Lotta?
Yes.
Katrina Salazar?
Yes.
And Yin Tu?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Patrick, would you like to continue, please?
Would you like to move on?
Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair Jacobson. We're moving on to item 5, which is review and possible consideration of positions on legislation the California Board of Accountancy is monitoring. Several bills previously on this list were deleted as they failed to meet recent legislative deadlines. Staff will continue to monitor the bills listed through the last day for legislature to pass bills, which is August 31st of 2022. There is no action needed on this item, and that concludes my presentation. I will now turn it back to Chair Jacobson for any questions or discussion.
Does anyone on the committee have any comments or questions? Seeing none, does any member of the public who's in the room with us today have any comments on this issue? Seeing none there, moderator, will you please open up the WebEx tool for comments on this issue?
Certainly. And I have opened up the Q&A feature of WebEx to facilitate public comment. If you would like to speak, you can look for the question mark icon, type the word comment, and click send, or you may raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon in the lower portion of your WebEx app. And I see no request for public comment. I can close the Q&A if you'd like.
That would be great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Moving on to the last issue, agenda items for the next meeting. Do any members of the committee have any agenda items for the next meeting? Does any member of the public who's here with us today in the room have any agenda items for the next meeting? I see none. Moderator, will you please open up the WebEx tool for comment from the public who want to electronically comment on this issue?
Certainly. We've opened up the Q&A feature of WebEx to facilitate public comment. If you'd like to make a comment on topics for the next meeting, you can type the word comment in the text box and click send, or raise your hand using the hand icon in the lower portion of your WebEx screen. And I see no request for public comment. I can close the Q&A.
Thank you. Please, you may please close the tool. And that brings us to adjournment. So this meeting is adjourned. Please close your ears.